So we had obviously Dressel, in my opinion, is having a solid comeback, at least a butterfly, and it's was kind of overshadowed by Maxime Grousset. I think that's his last name, right?
Maybe Grousset.
Basically just walking into his house, tucking his kid in, eating his dinner at his table next to his wife, like giving her a good night peck on the cheek.
Wild analogy, by the way. Absolutely diabolical.
Well, look, it's a wild analogy, but it's the perfect thing based on what he said. You just don't let somebody come up in your house, being America, and just say, like, I'm going to break your records, and then he beats you twice, right? The fly and the 100 fly. Come back or not, you better reach under that lane line and grab his foot, dog. Like, I don't know. It was like as far as his personal achievements, 51-1 or whatever, 51-2 is like, that's a really good time for this point of the season. I know you hate those words, but yeah, you just can't let somebody walk in your trap, take over your trap. Like, nah, player. What do you think?
I mean, 22-8 in the 50 fly. That's moving. And then you had Van Matthias taking silver with 23-0, and Dressel took the bronze with 23-2. I mean, these aren't.
Well, he also went 50.9 in the 100 fly.
Yeah. And then that's when he popped out and said he wants to beat Caeleb's time.
Yeah.
And where's Caeleb? He's out there playing Smash Brothers at the diving well.
Oh, yeah.
What the hell?
I'm losing, I think.
What are we doing, bro?
I went through that. I played it in my head, and I was like, if they had challenged me, I'd be like, where's the 64?
Right.
Like, you ain't going to catch me slipping on some Nintendo DS, whatever they're playing on, Switch. Like, you better have that 64 ready, Mario Doo-Doo Brown or Red Fox. You about to get caught in that Mario Doo-Doo Brown tornado. Okay.
Yeah, bring the real game console out, first of all.
Yeah.
But there was a post race interview he did with Swam, and he was talking about how he and Steve Youngbluth, his coach, were gonna start doing race prep training now, and how he's been meeting up with.
Little
late, yeah, because that was my thought. And then he mentioned how he's now connecting with his old, or I guess a sports scientist. I think he said. I don't think he said psychologist. I think he said sports scientist.
Okay.
So the way he was talking, it was way different than I'm used to hearing him talk the last like 3 interviews. Because every interview I've always heard, I was like face palming, like, what is this dude talking about? This was the first time I actually heard Caeleb speaking more confidently, into what's coming up, which is good. So I'm curious to see how that reflects in his swimming going forward, because we haven't really seen it reflect in his swimming yet, and
wait, when you say more confidently, you mean he's saying more with confidence, or which to me has been like a fake confidence so far, or he's actually gone from that to like a confident, like champion level swimmer? Or he's moving in that direction.
He's moving in that direction, because when we used to listen to his last interviews, they always used to kind of say like, well, like with my family and I can't do this and I'm thinking about it. Like, it was always kind of this mishmash of, I think the word is excuses. It was basically excuses as to why he couldn't perform to the way he was performing. And now it's starting to sound like he's not talking about the past anymore, or he's not talking about, outside influences that are holding him back. He's now talking about, this is what I'm doing to move forward to this next step, to this. He's now speaking in building blocks, I guess is the best way to put it.
Right.
And we haven't heard him talk like that in a long time. So I don't think that's like, I don't think that's like the change yet. I think that's like I think it's like the light beyond the tunnel. You're like, is there light coming out of that cave? Like, I think it's coming, I think
that lighter is in a train. I can't tell you.
Exactly. I think he's at that point. I don't think he's out of the woods yet. But I must say, man, when I grow up, I want to have a fan base like Caeleb Dressel, because Jesus Christ, they are loyal to this man till the day he dies. I mean, I saw on Swim Swam comment, they were talking about his race, and somebody responded on the YouTube video like, yes, Caeleb Dressel is back. Like, we're back, baby. And I'm like, did he even make the final in the 50 free? Like, what are we talking about? Like, he just got spanked. And it's like the fans are so delusional. Like, I wish I had fans like that. So shout out to the Caeleb fans, man. Y'all are something to live for.
Yeah, and I'm gonna say this real quick, and we'll talk about it more when we get to Kieran. But back when he won, so he might have been even earlier than that, because let's see, I think 2016 is when he went that 47 whatever relay lead off, and it was like after that, there was a lot of underwater video footage on him, and I remember looking at his technique and being like maybe it works for him, but this is not even like the baseline textbook pulling. And like I remember in 2021, or I think it was 2021, on Brett Hawk's show, they were doing like a live stream of the Olympics, and I was like, I said there, I think you might have been there actually.
I was on that, yeah.
Yeah, I was like, I'm not a fan of his technique. Like, I'm just not. And I think we're gonna talk about this more with Kieran too. I think it's catching up with him. And the same thing happened to Nathan Adrian, where, like I said, Nathan Adrian to me is like the greatest freestyle technique ever. But I think there's a point where if you don't have control over every piece, it's like when I teach freestyle, like I'll teach Nathan's exact stuff, but I teach like, this is how you bend your elbow. This is when you straighten your elbow. When you straighten your elbow, your other hand needs to be here. When this is here and this straighten happens, you need to twist this way. If you don't twist this way, you're going to make this mistake. But if you just think about your technique as like one thing, something can go wrong and that may pull something else with it, Mm-hmm. I think Nathan probably left the sport early because one thing went wrong, but he didn't realize it was like pulling on three other things. And I think Dressel's probably going through that with his freestyle right now. Like I said, like I'm not a fan of his technique. He's a lot of mistimed stuff. And I think I've even done a video review for my members in my technique solutions talking about Kieran's stroke, and he has weird kick timings. He over rotates in some places. He pulls at the wrong time on certain kicks. And it's like that stuff, it catches up to you because you're not training the right muscle system. Mm-hmm. And then all of a sudden, the first time you race, like let's just say you have a surprise race where you hit the muscle system perfect every time. That's your first time using it.
Yeah.
So I think, and like even in my own case, right, like I had terrible technique in college. So I spent a whole bunch of time training muscles that were very weak that did not help me swim fast, right? So I think some of that's coming home on his freestyle. Some of those chickens are coming home to roost.
Yeah, when I watch Caeleb Dressel's videos of him training, it almost looks like he's thrashing the water. Like it doesn't look like it's like he's beating the water into submission. Yeah. He's not moving through it with much finesse. And he's a strong dude. So I expect a little bit of, muscling through the water, because that's kind of how I swam as well when I was super strong. But there was still a little bit of finesse to the muscling through the water. I mean, we talked about it, I think maybe last episode or 2 episodes ago, where, even in my 50, my stroke tempo was like above 1.0. So it was still it wasn't a quick tempo, but it was a strong tempo, but enough to like still catch water and have that finesse. Whereas it seems like with Caeleb, it's almost like
fast, too hard.
Yeah, like a tire, like a car spinning its wheels, just thrashing to the water. But he's so strong and powerful. He's still moving. It's not like he's standing still, but is he moving as efficiently as he could? Is the question.
Yeah, but that's the gift and the curse, though, too.
Yeah,
all these athletic gifts, like he's uber athletic, probably like low D2 or to high D2 college linebacker levels of athleticism, and obviously a talented swimmer. He went 18.6 as a freshman or as a high schooler.
it's crazy.
And then that's a lot of potential masking errors. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's definitely a double-edged sword.